You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything that you want. I got this concept from an Ali Abdaal video that I just cannot remember where it's from. I'm so sorry. I would link it if I could remember, but if somebody remembers, let me know in the comments. But Ali was quoting someone else, so it's not from Ali, but I'm just gonna repeat it again because of just how important and impactful it is. You can have anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. You have all of the energy you could possibly need to do anything or accomplish anything in this lifetime, but you only have so much time and energy to do the things you want. This is also provided that you have your sights set on your goals and, like you are mentally and physically capable. Like if you want to be an astronaut, you kind of have to have the requirements, but we'll get to that to a later point. But if you had infinite time, then you can pretty much do anything you want. Again, within reason, right? You could be a professional basketball player, you could be an astronaut, you could be a professional developer, you could be an architect, you could do it all, really. If you had the motivation, you had the time, you could do anything. But the finiteness of our lives is what makes it so cool and valuable. Knowing that your life could end is what makes your life so worth living. If you couldn't die, then you would just procrastinate your entire life because there's really no point to just get something done today. The reason why procrastination is such an issue is because you're wasting a finite resource, which is time, a resource that you cannot make up again. When you spend time, it's gone. It's not like money where if you spend it, you can just make some more later. Having impending doom of death is what keeps you on your toes and makes you want to do more. Okay, so before I keep going on this, I think it's a little existential and I'm kind of straying from the point, so I'm gonna get back on track now. But the truth remains, you can do anything in this life. Now, yes, you might not achieve everything that you want in this life, and there's a good chance that you probably won't. Most people don't, and it's not like to be negative or something, it's just that maybe you have 3 things you want to achieve and you only achieve 1 or 2. That's fine, you still achieve something. I know it sounds kind of weird, but I feel like most people don't get what they want in life, or they just don't achieve what they want. And I mean, again, I'm not trying to be like a downer, but just being kind of realistic here. It's kind of sad. I hope it doesn't happen to me. But this is where prioritization is just so important. If you could only achieve 3 big things in life, what would it be? Let's say you lived until 70 or 80 years old and there's 3 things you just absolutely want to achieve in this life. Write them down. What are they? Because chances are, those are the only 3 things you might be able to achieve in this life, depending on how big they are. And that's also provided that you have the lifespan and the energy and prioritization to do so. You could die today, you could die tomorrow, and you won't have achieved anything that you wanted. That's just life, sadly. I mean, it happens all the time. Knock on wood, that doesn't happen to you or me. Now again, I don't want this to be like a dark, pessimistic video. I just kind of want it to be more realistic and grounded in reality, because I can always tell you, hey, you can achieve anything you want and you can do anything in this world, but that's just not real life. People fail all the time and they never recover from that failure. I just don't want that to be you. So the lesson of the video, if you haven't figured out already, is prioritization. Learning how to prioritize what's important to you in this life, specifically the top 3 things. Or in other words, just learning to not waste time and prioritize things that are actually important to you. So doing things like working on your purpose instead of scrolling for hours every day. This is what I meant earlier by setting your sights on things. If you can properly hone in on what's important, then yeah, you can do pretty much anything. I want to be a successful YouTuber. That is something that I think is pretty tough, and as time goes on, it just gets harder and harder because it's more and more competitive. My niche of self-improvement and just wanting to be better and wanting to just be like a personality creator just gets more and more saturated every day. I'm fighting a losing battle, but that's not gonna stop me. This is a journey that will probably take me years, and I think it's worthwhile. Now, I just wanna make a quick disclaimer. Before, when I mentioned that, don't waste all your time on scrolling, I'm not saying that don't scroll at all, okay? Like sometimes you have those times where you just want to scroll and watch some YouTube videos, or you want to just, I don't know, go on Instagram for like an hour. Okay, I think this is where the 80-20 rule really comes in. Just try and be your absolute best self 80% of the time, and the other 20%, you can do whatever the hell you want. You want to do stupid shit? Go for it, right? It's impossible to be perfect. Don't try to be perfect. It'll just hurt your mental health. Be realistic, right? But all in all, this really is a beautiful life that we get to live. And if you are privileged enough to be able to watch this on your phone or your computer, you're probably living in a pretty privileged situation. We all only get one shot at life, so it would be such a shame to waste it. Let's not waste it on things that are just unimportant and don't help us get to where we want to be. And of course, like I said, everything in moderation, right? It's okay to mess around from time to time, but let's not forget what's really important here. Just don't make the main thing that you do every day wasting time, because you will regret it with time. I don't regret the time that I wasted when I was younger, because the thing is, I just didn't know any better. But if you're watching this video, you probably know better. But anyways, I don't want to get too far off. That's all I got for you. Now maybe drop a like and a sub.